Good morning, Michelle Lee here with Athena Rising Now, and I support women. I help ambitious, visionary women bust through their financial glass ceiling and skyrocket their self-confidence. And today I want to talk to you about how important commitment is and immersion. Commitment and immersion to making more money. Now, the story I'm going to tell you for evidence of the importance of commitment and immersion has absolutely nothing to do with making money, and yet everything to do with making money. And it goes back over 20 years ago when I started teaching hypnobirthing to women to help them have a better birth experience. I had difficult childbirths and I experienced postpartum depression, and innately in my intuition told me that that wasn't right, that's not how childbirth was meant to be. So I started looking for a way to help support women in having a different experience of childbirth. And I discovered hypnobirthing, and I became certified in hypnobirthing back 23 years ago. And what it is it teaches women how to trust their body, relax in the birthing process, and have an absolutely painless childbirth. But in the teaching, it goes into reprogramming your mind. One, why women experience pain in childbirth, and why it's not necessary. And what it teaches, the hypnobirthing program, the Marie Mongan style, said, if you're going to use hypnobirthing for your childbirth experience, then don't do any other birthing classes. Only do the hypnobirthing classes. Don't go do the hospital classes. Don't go do any other Lamaze or whatever options are out there. Marie Mongan in that training specifically states, if you are doing hypnobirthing and you want a successful hypnobirthing experience, do not do any other trainings. All right. So I was teaching that. Hey, Sheila. So I had lots of clients that I took through the hypnobirthing experience in teaching them how to reprogram their mind around giving birth, that they could actually have a painless childbirth. And part of that was not listening to other people's scary stories about giving birth. The other was not taking any other trainings. It was completely and totally focusing on reprogramming the mind around your ability to give birth naturally, painlessly, joyously, and to come out of that birthing experience with energy and at peace. I had one client that absolutely refused to follow that coaching. She wanted to cover all her bases, and she went to all of the birth trainings. She went to the hospital training where essentially when you go to a hospital birthing class, they're teaching you how the hospital runs, what to expect. So they're programming you to give birth the way they want you to give birth. So she did that training, she did the hypnobirthing training, and then she did another class that was offered as well. And of all of my clients, she had the least success. She had a very long and painful, drawn out birthing experience. And I was there with her, working as her doula, working to keep her in the state of relaxation and self-hypnosis, and she just couldn't do it. I mean, she was looking towards the nurses all of the time. She had so much fear going on. So my point in sharing this story, well, I want to share with you other clients that I was in the hospital with, and those that I weren't in the hospital with. You know, I would get cards and stories, and the ones I was in, I could see like the confusion on the doctors' faces and the nurses' faces. Like, you know, I had clients giving birth that were strapped in with the monitor so you could see when her contractions were spiking. And my clients were always very deeply relaxed, no pain, nothing. So I experienced my clients having completely, totally painless childbirths, and the confusion on the medical staff. So the difference was them taking the coaching and like immersing themselves in the program of hypnobirthing, rather than immersing themselves in what else could happen. So my point in being is that whatever you choose, you get to have success at that. It's simply making the decision that that's the experience I'm going to have. Hey, Steve, thanks for stopping by. It's making the decision. I am committed to this outcome. I'm committed to this outcome. All of my clients that committed to the hypnobirthing experience, they did their homework, they did the hypnosis on a daily basis. They refused to listen to anybody's horror stories around childbirth. And then the client who wanted to like cover all of her bases and wanted to make sure she knew everything, she didn't make a commitment to a particular outcome. She felt powerless over what kind of experience she could have. So what's this got to do with money? It has everything to do with money. You get to define the experience with money that you have, how much money you make, and you get to create your program around that, right? You get to, all right, I get up in the morning and I visualize the amount of money I'm making, the impacts that I'm having. And you get to see, athletes talk about this all of the time. They visualize the outcome they want. They visualize their golf string. They visualize making those basketball shots. But they've made a decision that that's the commitment to my outcome. So when it comes to stepping into your power and building your business, you can either listen to what everybody else is telling you, listen to what the economy is, listen to what all of the stories, the scary stories are, or you can make your commitment and go, this is what I am creating. When I was first getting serious about my business, because I was a single mom with 3 kids, and I'd been doing my hypnotherapy business on the side for a little extra money. My husband was the breadwinner. I had everybody and their freaking dog telling me what was possible for me as a single mom. Well, you can't build a business during school hours. You have to work 60 hours a week. You can't charge that much for what you do. Had I allowed their programming, right, to influence what I was creating, then I wouldn't be where I am today. I had a commitment to what I was creating, and I was absolutely not going to listen to the naysayers. So that's the point in commitment and immersion. Make the commitment to what you're creating. Define it, not if I can do that, if it's possible, right? If that will work. No, it's simply yes, because either way, you're going to create that experience. The woman who is like, well, in case the hypnobirthing doesn't work, I want to have all this other education over here. So there was a sense of powerlessness, like there's a power outside of you that affects how you give birth, or affects how much money you can make. It's not, it's all here. It's all how you think about it and your commitment. The immersion piece is surrounding yourself with people who are doing that. Surrounding yourself with those people, because people that want to naysay and tell you what's possible and what's not possible, they're a dime a dozen. And you have to learn to go, I am not listening to that person. Is that person living the experience I am visualizing for me? Is that person at the level of success that I want to be? If the answer is no, don't listen to them. I don't care if they're your mother. I don't care if they're your husband. I don't care if they're your sister, if they're your son. If they are not living what you want to live, they have no authority in telling you how to get there. Right? So you want to immerse yourself. You want to have a mentor or a group, a community of other people that are living by their vision, not living by the programming other people have given them. And we are swimming in a sea of programming. That's the metaphor of the childbirth. You know, we literally coached, don't listen to anybody's horror stories, right? We had buttons for them to wear to say, please don't tell me your birthing story, right? Don't tell me your horror stories, right? You have to set the boundaries. Who are you listening to? What are you listening to? You have to become responsible. Hey, Hannah, nice to see you here. Katie, hey, Jamie, everyone's here. I love seeing your faces. You have to decide what you have to become responsible for your inspiration and your motivation and listening to people on YouTube. There's so many free resources out there to watch on YouTube, interviews, so much motivation of like what is possible for you. And that's where you have to put your programming. We are constantly being programmed. And if you're watching the news and if you're watching the economy and if you're listening to stories out there, then you're allowing the circumstances that have already been created by other people's minds. You're allowing for those to be your circumstances. So today I invite you to get as clear as you possibly can on your vision. You know, when I was teaching hypnobirthing, all I knew was like, this birth process that I just had that so many women are suffering with is wrong. I didn't have this vision of doing the work that I do now. I had no idea. I just knew that I wanted to do something to support women in having a different experience. So don't get all caught up in, well, I don't know all the details and I don't know that this is what I want to do 1 year from now or 5 years from now. I taught hypnobirthing for less than 2 years, right? It was my stepping stone to the next thing because I saw the power of the mind even over the body. I'm like, if women can give birth painlessly, and it was only based on programming the mind, what else have we been programmed about? Where else is our programming showing up? Definitely how much money we make, what we're capable of doing in the world, and what we get to have. So get clear on what you want to create. Allow it to evolve. You get to change it. It's not like when you write something down, you write your vision down, that you are locked in. You are not locked in. It gets to evolve. You get to change it. You get to change your mind about it. You get to veer off a little ways. This is your creation. This is your absolute creation. So get clear about what you want to create. And then immerse yourself in the thinking that it's going to take for you, right? Immerse yourself in that thinking. Like I said, people were a dime a dozen when I was building my business, men especially, honest to goodness, you know. I was saying, you know, I'm a single mom. I'm not going to go to work. I'm going to work from my home, supporting women. You can't do that. You know how long it takes to build a business that will sustain your lifestyle, right? And I was like, not taking that in, right? I'm not taking that in. So define what you want. Book a call with me if you're feeling stuck in any way, not sure what your purpose is, not sure how to begin reprogramming your mind. You know, there's layers to reprogramming your mind, and I have cracked the code on getting into the very pieces that keep you broke, the very beliefs that keep you broke, keep you hiding, keep you in self-doubt, feeling like an imposter. So I'll put my link to book a call with me, or hey, just private message me. I would love to chat, see what your challenges are and how I can support you beyond that. Thank you all for being here. It was a pleasure to see you. I will be here next Wednesday. Talk to you soon. Bye.